Well, today on Focus Gaming News, we're delighted to have with us once again Sarah Robertson, Vice President of Sales at Kambi. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining us again. How are you?
Hi, nice to see you again. Nice to speak with you again. I'm doing well. We're getting very excited for more things opening up and more events happening and kind of summer months coming ahead in Kambi. As you can see, we're back in our offices, which is really nice as well.
Yeah, is it good to be back in the office after all this time?
Yeah, it's really nice to see team members and to just be back with the kind of energy of being in a busy office. We obviously have a large office here in London where I'm based that is full of traders and commercial and account management. So it's great to see all the teams together again. Yeah.
Well, like you say, things have changed somewhat since we last spoke. Things starting to sort of come back. Live events coming back, of course. And it's nice to catch up just ahead of ICE London coming up next month. Really coming back to kind of a regular calendar of major live events. How is Kambi feeling? How are you feeling about that, and particularly looking forward to ICE in London?
Yeah, so we'll be exhibiting at ICE in London, and I think we're going to have a team of our executive management and a lot of our product team and commercial team there, and we're really excited. It's going to be really nice to be back in person in front of customers and potential customers to talk about what we've been up to over the last few years. Obviously, the virtual events that have been held over the last few years have been excellent, but it's just different to be able to sit and be face to face with your customers and have longer sessions to be able to talk about their strategic directives and, like I said, what we've been doing in terms of our product and our strategy at Kambi for the last few years. So it'll be interesting because it's being held in April, which is different for ICE. It's usually held earlier in the year, but I think that's nice. We're going to have nice weather, and I'm hoping that we'll see a lot of familiar faces and be able to really kind of celebrate everyone's successes over the last few years while we're there as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, nice timing for that. And well, Kambi is going in with the message of we know what it takes. Perhaps you could tell us a little bit about the key themes behind this campaign and what is it that Kambi knows when it comes to success in sports betting?
Yeah, so I think we know what it takes really is about the fact that, we've been working in the sports betting space for almost 20 years, which means we have an incredible amount of industry knowledge around how the industry works, but also around product and within our organization. So we really understand how hard and how complex it can be to build a really high performance sportsbook. And we've spent kind of years kind of defining that and refining that to make sure that we're coming to the market with a really strong product that's going to be able to achieve the strategic directions or strategic objectives of all of our different partners. So that's really the overarching message around it. And I think it's one of our favorite kind of build up or messages that we've had, because I do think it really captures what we're trying to achieve as a business.
Obviously, as you say, Kambi has a lot of experience in the sector. Do you feel that Kambi was maybe ahead of its time really when it launched, and even the way that its model has developed today?
I think our history has really kind of positioned us to be in a really strong place where we are now. As you know, we spun off the back of Unibet, and the whole kind of vision around Kambi was making sure that we had a scalable sportsbook that could work in highly regulated and diverse markets. And that's been something that has been the core ethos of how we built the product. So making sure that everything that we build has the end consumer in mind. So that's really put us in a really strong position as we've seen kind of a really heightened kind of global initiative around regulation, and each regulation across many different territories looks really different. So you do need a scalable solution to be able to launch with speed and efficiency as kind of new markets regulate. And again, the way that our technology is built has really allowed us to help our partners achieve that.
How do you think that experience, that knowledge that Kambi has built over the years makes the company what it is today, and what really makes Kambi stand out, do you think, from other sportsbook providers?
Well, I think there's a few things that make us stand out. And again, I think a lot of it comes from our history and our experience, but also and that we were built from the ground up by bettors, by users. So again, everything that we do is built with the end user in mind. We also are a specialist sportsbook provider. So we're not kind of muddying our view by looking at trying to do kind of lots of different things. We're really specialists in what we do. And we've done that by design so that everything that we do in terms of product development is focused on the best experience for a sportsbook user, not looking at casino, not looking at platform, et cetera. I also think that we've been kind of at the forefront of being a visionary in terms of understanding, like I said, what it takes to be able to be a competitive sportsbook. We have really been at the forefront of driving kind of product development in the space. And again, that's really come from the top down in our organization. Our exec team really understand the requirements to be a competitive supplier in the space. And then finally, I think, which is iterative and we'll continue to build on, is really our network of data. Because we are a global supplier, because we supply so many different types of operators that have different objectives and are working in very different regulated markets, that really allows us to build out everything we do, from risk management, player profiling, product development, BI intelligence. Everything that we do is built on this kind of network model of, we hold all this data, let's utilize that data to drive the business. So I think that's a really core kind of piece to how we look at the unique value of Kambi.
Excellent. We've obviously mentioned events, the return of live events. And last year, Kambi held its own Festival of Sportsbook.
We did.
And that's going to be happening again this year. What can we expect from the event this year?
I think we're going to expect a lot of really great talking points. As I said, we have a huge amount of knowledge within our organization, and we're really going to open up that knowledge base to be able to share that with our customers and our potential customers. So it's not just about a kind of sales pitch around why Kambi is great. It's about, here's the things that we understand about the space that will help operators build out their strategy. So it's really about a knowledge share, and we're going to have lots of different people within the organization speaking, but I think people outside of the organization will join panel-like events as well. So we're really excited about it. I'll be speaking at the Festival of Sportsbook. We're going to have sessions that are going to be built out around different kind of regulations. So, sessions specific to the US, sessions specific to Canada, sessions specific to LATAM, et cetera. So it'll be a lot of very bespoke content for lots of different operators.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. That certainly sounds like something to look forward to. And what else do we have in store for the rest of this year then from Kambi?
I think we've got a lot in store. It's going to be a really exciting year for us. And I think it's going to be a year where we're really building off a lot of foundational blocks that we've put in place over the kind of last few years of the pandemic. We've been working really hard behind the scenes to build out a lot around our product. We recently kind of, in the last NFL season, went out with a same game parlay or an event combination product that's incredibly competitive in the space, and it's built from the ground up. So it's kind of limitless in terms of what consumers can combine within the sportsbook. This year, we're going to be rolling that out to lots of other sports, specific to kind of basketball and the NBA. We've just rolled out to NHL. We're building out on top around kind of international soccer, et cetera. So I think you're going to see a lot of quick succession of product development from Kambi. And again, that's kind of based on that work that we've done for the last few years. But also, we're really looking forward to kind of regulation. We are prepared for go live in Canada. Ontario is going to be a really big and competitive market, and we feel that we're really well placed to be able to support our partners in achieving success in that market. And on top of that, obviously, there's lots of US states that are regulating, but also a lot happening in LATAM. And in Europe, so I should say. So, we've got a busy year ahead. I think we're really looking forward to be attending a lot of events in person, but also really kind of getting our core message out around the developments that we've had at Kambi and the developments that will be coming out for 2023, et cetera. So it'll be a very exciting year, I think.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Sarah. It's always a pleasure to just catch up and see what Kambi's working on, what's in store. We'll certainly look forward to seeing more from Kambi in London and at the Festival of Sportsbook later this year. So thank you again for your time.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to speak to you and the team, and we're looking forward to seeing everyone at ICE as well.
Excellent. Thanks, Sarah.